to enable fast connectivity restoration. The trajectory optimization performance evaluates how trajectory plan improves energy consumption to 20 reduction, and signal quality avoids interference heavy areas, coverage expansion increase efficiencies in urban and rural regions. The swarm connection metrics examine how swarm coordination enhance the load balancing, distribute task eventually, and energy efficiency increased by 18%, and network reliability maintained 95 connectivities. Here is the figure showing the swarm coordination metric. So the slide 15 showed the communication reliability as shown in reliability index across different environments. Urban 0.96, the rural is 0.94, and in disaster we have 0.95. So the packet delivery rates remain above 96%, and the latency will be 30 milliseconds in urban areas, 25 millisecond in rural areas, and 35 milliseconds in disaster scenarios. So here we will show the fields with the simulation energy efficiency. As we see, we have the comparison between the real world test and simulations. It shows that 82 efficiency in field experiments vice versa with 84% in simulations. So it means that 2% only the difference, and it's mitigated value. So less than 2% deviation provide the model accuracy. Scalability analysis evaluates how the network scales up as a drone increases, coverage expansion for 15 kilometers for the 50 drones, and 50 kilometers for 200 drones. The throughput improved from 2.5 gigabytes to 8 gigabytes. The latency remained under 35 milliseconds across the condition. Here the figure show the coverage expansion, the throughput, and the latency. Disaster scenario performance measures the network restoration efficiency as 95 connectivity restored with 15 minutes. Latency would be 35 millisecond. Packet delivery rate would be 96.8%. The dynamic spectrum management optimized spectrum utilization results in first 83% efficiency in bandwidth use and 25 reduction in interface in urban areas. The load balance result, advanced load balance technique ensure no signal drone exceed 80% utilization, and latency remain unstable at 30 to 35 milliseconds. The security protocol, the key finding on cybersecurity, 100% success in preventing unauthorized access, and 98% accuracy in intrusion detection. Here the figure show our security protocol efficiency. So the machine learning assisted optimization, machine learning improve energy efficiency by 15% reduction and connectivity reliability by 95% and dynamic spectrum allocation it means about 83% utilization efficiency. The limitation, discuss the current challenges, show us the energy limitations in drone operations, predicting network cognition and traffic pattern, enhancing security with lightweight encryption, and all these 6 steps are the sequence of the limitation. So the future direction suggests next step including the AI driven swarm coordination, integration of solar power drones, and improving adaptive spectrum management. The conclusion focus on reinforces the impact of a drone on telecommunication networks and emphasizes the role in scalable, resilient, and efficient communication. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Dr. Namir.
Thank you, Dr. Namir. Close the presentation. Yes, thank you. I invite to speak Daria Brukhal, Kyiv National University Construction and Architecture. Please, Daria. Сейчас. Не, нормально, блин. Можно. Пробуй давай. Намир, шир для Дарьи экран. Нет, у меня стоит птичка.
دكتور عقيل بس اسوي شيرنج للداريا.
She already sharing.
Yeah.
1 minute. Yes.
IoT security analysis of cryptographic solutions. Я выключила тут. IoT security analysis of cryptographic solutions, from smart homes and wearables to industrial automation and medical devices. The IoT already encompassed billions of devices that generate and exchange vast amounts of data. One of the key tools for securing IoT is cryptography. It ensures data privacy, integrity, and authenticity, and also enables authentication and authorization mechanisms. Therefore, it is important to consider cryptographic solutions used to secure IoT, their advantages, limitations, and applications. Ciphers are classified according to their structure, operation, and purpose. By the type of the key used, they are divided into symmetric, which is used as single key for encryption and decryption, and is symmetric, whereas a pair of the key is used, a public key for encryption and a private key for decryption. Data processing can be block-based when information is divided into fixed blocks, or streaming, where data is provided confirming authenticity through digital signatures. Mathematically, algorithms can be based on permutations, substitution, discrete logarithms, factorization of numbers, or elliptic curves. They are also classified by purpose, such as key exchange, data encryption, or authentication. IoT data protection, a key process explained. Multi-layered security is critical for IoT systems due to their decentralized nature and constant interaction between devices, often over open networks. Establishing a connection. The first step is to establish a connection, which as an option can be implemented as a common key agreement between devices over an unsecured communication channel. Often the Diffie-Hellman algorithm is used for this, which allows two parties to agree on a common secret key without having to transmit it direction. The principle of operation of the algorithm is based on the properties of modular arithmetic and increasing powers. Data transfer. After establishing a common key, encryption of data transmitted between devices is ensured. The AES, Advanced Encryption Standard algorithm, is widely used for this purpose. AES uses a symmetric key using many rounds of replacement and permutation of data blocks based on matrix operations, which provides a high level of protection. The next step is authenticity check. At this stage, it is checked that the data has not been changed during transmission and that it was indeed sent by an authentic source. Using the ECDSA, elliptic curve signature algorithm, allows you to create a digital signature that confirms the integrity and authenticity of the data. The principle of operation of ECDSA is based on the mathematical properties of elliptic curves. Data processing. When working with the data, it is important to use calculation that guarantee security without information leakage. And the last step, data storage. Here, hashing algorithms such as SHA-256 can be used. The principle of operation of SHA-256 is calculate a hash. The resulting hash is unique for each data set, and even minimal changes in the input data lead to completely different results. Analysis of cryptography challenges in IoT. Cryptography implementation faces significant changes due to the limitation source of these devices. Most IoT devices, such as sensors, smartwatches, or surveillance cameras, have weak processors, small memory, and limited power consumption. To overcome this problem, so-called lightweight cryptographic algorithms are actively being developed. Their goal is to provide the necessary level of security with minimal requirements for device resources. Such algorithms demonstrate a good balance between efficiency and energy efficiency, but are not a universal solution. IoT security incident analysis. The Mirai botnet became famous in 2016 for its massive DDoS attacks. The attackers scanned the internet for IoT devices that had standard or hard-coded passwords and gain access to them. The main vulnerability was the lack of authentication and encryption mechanisms to protect against unauthorized access. WannaCry was one of the most notorious attacks that could affect IoT devices due to a vulnerability in SMB, Server Managed Block Protocol. Hackers use the Eternal Blue exploit, which allows unauthorized access to devices, distributing malware in the form of ransomware. The main idea of the attack was to encrypt victims' data and demand a ransom in Bitcoin. One of the largest DDoS attacks targeted Amazon IoT. Attackers use vulnerabilities in unprotected devices to create a botnet and generate massive traffic that overwhelmed servers. Amazon managed to protect its system thanks to combined approaches that included the use of hashing mechanisms to identify forget requests and digital signature to verify the authenticity of connection. The Tesla Wi-Fi attack demonstrated the ability to hack a car by exploiting vulnerabilities in its wireless connectivity. Hackers exploited weak communication protocols to bypass authentication and gain control over the car's function. Using elliptic curve-based cryptography for secure command validation and implemented mutual authentication mechanisms could significantly enhance protection against unauthorized access. Conclusions. The analysis shows that the multi-layered approaches using asymmetric and symmetric encryption, digital channels, signature, and hashing can significantly improve IoT security. The development of firewall solutions and adaptive protocols remains a key direction in creating secure IoT systems. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Daria. Next speaker, I invite to speak Dmitro Tarasyuk. I invite to speak Dmitro Tarasyuk, Kyiv National University Construction and Architecture. Please. Presentation, please.
Just need to accept. Okay.
Oh, thank you. I believe you can hear me.
Go ahead, Doctor.
Please, Dmitro.
Okay. Can you see my screen? I believe it's so.
Yes.
Dear colleagues, I am artificial intelligence system developer and neural networks researcher. I have a master's degree in computer science. I want to talk about creation a prototype system for diagnosing cancer. The most reliable methods of diagnosing cancer is histological analysis. It requires some spend. On high quality samples preparation and considerable experience of specialists who can visually understood and accurately interpret what they see through a microscope. Histology is science of studies of structure of tissues of living organisms. Hematoxylin staining is now the gold standard in histology. But only few organelles stain in one of two colors, blue and pink red. The structure of the colors depends on many of the subjective factors. According to the results of communication with origin pathologists of the National Cancer Institute of Ukraine, the daily demand of histological examinations critically exceeds the workload standards for pathologists. real-time diagnosis of cryohistological samples that is most complex diagnosis during surgery is limited by available of small number of specialists of such expert level. On the other hand, there is a gap of the gap between doctors and eye specialists. There are a few teams who can do this jointly. To create the system, it was not enough to recognize analysis images, but also to use a number of related data. This data include the parameters of the equipment used and its settings, a patient's position, and the location of the samples. This allows the image to be normalized to compensate for error due to different examination parameters. For this purpose, a digital imaging and communication in medicine DCOM standard is used, which allows to the exchange of accurate information on a medical networks. To realize the system, the large language model based on Mixtral was chosen to the basic of artificial intelligence system to help pathologists. Requirements for the quality of samples has been developed, namely, there should be only one lower on level in the samples. This allows to train a network to the segment the image into superpixels. Superpixels groups together image pixels that belong to the same semantic objects. There is example. This is superpixels, which is obtained from the original image. So the system is working in the such way. First, select the image from this asset in DCOM file, which is prepared before in the standard way. The next, gradient image normalization. It allows to eliminate saturation and other factors which can be take some error effects. The next, super pixel segmentation image, refine colors of cells, so grouping cell into the region contours, create contours tree, attention zone identification. This items is important and uses the additional neural networks. Classification of cell within the attention area and cancer positive, cancer negative, and other cells. Classification of area of attention into stomata, necrosis, and some bad recognitions area. Convert attention area into structured text descriptions. This requires additional neural network, convert attention into structured text description. This text is used YAML format. This is structured text. And so, important related data about patient is also added, such as medical history, age. Age is very important. Receiving the diagnostic and related description with links in the corresponding elements on the image. So, the pathologist can observe and explain it with diagnosis which system is received. A historical image is not a text. However, by attention zones and colors tree are classified cell and regions. A historical image can be structurally described by words vector from vocabulary built in the text corpus that large language model is pre-trained. The description of the historical image keeps information that allows the LLM to highlight the relevant elements of the image from the response. This approach is an important feature of the development system. Some items required additional neural networks, and this was some interesting result were obtained. So the classical neural networks is set of can be defined as a set of linear regressions connected by activation functions. Without activation functions, the neural network is reduced to a single lower set of regressions. In real-world application, neural networks parameter cannot be given a precise description of what they are specifically responsible for. This can be thought as an indeterminalism of neural networks. Convolution and other types of advanced neural networks include deterministic algorithms to organize their work. So, this node are used as input layer, some weights, and next layer uses activation functions. This is important. Without these activation functions, the network is not being neural network. So, by analysis of these activation functions can be used some ideas. Deterministic algorithm in convolution network is sequence of processing of input images or some objects. And hypothesis, the hysteresis of the activation functions, the memory of previous behavior by the algorithmic component of the advanced network, should improve recognition. This is part of my research with testing and practical implementation in cancer diagnostic systems. And I can show the trajectory of activation function during the learning process with activation function with hysteresis. So we can run this process, and you can see this trajectory. This is shows the hyperbolic tangents. During learning process. We can speed up. Such approach improve the recognition of the used neural networks, and in common improve the efficiency on pathologists to diagnosing cancer. A prototype system based on artificial intelligence has been proposed to speed up the diagnostic procedure and provide explanation in chatbot mode and answer to related questions. Such assistant can be part of evidence-based medicine, which implements a patient-centered approach to purpose of prevention, diagnostics. According to the research of AI using of medical fields, neural networks work in the same way as human experts, but with great accuracy and precision. That's, I think, thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Dmitro. Do you have any questions for the speaker? Do you have any questions for the Dmitro? Thank you, Dmitro. To interesting report. Dear colleagues, greeting colleagues, we listen to interesting report. We are grateful to all speakers. We have a war in Ukraine, but university in Woking, we teach students and hold such event. We have prepared a certificate to the participants. I am ready to thank everyone. 1 minute. Так. Принять. Так. So, our conference dedicated to the 95th anniversary on the Kyiv National University of Construction and Architecture. So the certificate gauge Alexei Dniprov, Rector University. Next certificate is presented to Mahmoud Javad Abushir, Rector Al-Rafidan University. Thank you, Rector. So the certificate gets Akil Mahmoud Javad.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Akil.
Thank you.
The next certificate is presented to Dr. Marek Alexander. Thank you, Marek. Next certificate, Dmitro Tarasyuk. Thank you to the interesting report. Dmitro Tarasyuk, KNUBA. Next certificate is present to Ibrahim Khatem Mohammed Al-Dosari, Al-Rafidain. Thank you. So the certificate gets Krzysztof Sulkowski, Slovakia. Thank you, Krzysztof. Next certificate, Anastasia Chlaponina. Thanks. Next certificate, Dr. Mohammed Al-Dulaimi. So the certificate gets Daria Bruchal. Thank you. Next certificate is presented John McGill. Thank you, Dr. John. Next certificate, Dr. Namir Hashim Kasim. Thank you, Namir. So the certificate gets Garrett Dyke. Thanks, Garrett. Next certificate, Evgenia Shabala, Knuba. Thanks. Next certificate, Krzysztof Alexander, Poland. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Once again, I thank the organizer and participant and invite them to a future cooperation.
Thank you, Dr. Yuri.
Dr. Akil, speech to finish second day. Dr. Akil, please.
Okay, thank you. Dear all, thank you for all your attention and speaker and especially for the organizer of Yuri, Prof. Dr. Yuri, and thank you for Dimitri. Thank you for all the participation, and thank you for Dr. Namir, and thank you for all. And please, can you open the camera to take the picture for all?
Thank you. We're finishing our work. Our next international conference is scheduled for March of this year. We will invite you. I am ready to come to this conference in Baghdad. Invite us.
Okay.
Together, we will raise the international ranking of our university. We are done with this. Thank you for your frightful work. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Your questions? No questions? Dr. Namir? Is ok? It is ok? Okay, Dr. Namir? Thank
Dr.
you.
Namir, open your voice, audio.
Please please tune camera for screen. Сделаешь скрины, Виталик. Так, я сейчас пролистаю. У себя пролистаю вправо-влево, Виталий, чтобы скрин был. Thank you. Anastasia, John, hello. Evgenia, Akil. Thank you very much за future preparation. Bye. Thanks. Goodbye.
Hey?